Welcome. In this lesson, we'll be considering another common types of data in Python programming, and that is strings. Right from the beginning of the course, we've been working with strings. We just don't know about it. Think of a string like a chain of characters linked together, forming just a single word or even a sentence. Each letter in this chain is a character, and together they make up a string. In Python programming, a string is simply a sequence of characters enclosed within quotes. Strings allow us to work with text data in our code. Anytime you see a name, a message, or even a simple word in a program, it's stored as a string. You identify a string by the surrounding quotes. Alright, now let's see how to create a string. To create a string, you start with an opening quote. And then you type your text. Let's say we want to type hello world. So we have hello world. All right. And then you end it with another quote. And now we have a string. If you want to assign it to a variable, just write your variable name. Let's say we want to assign it to the variable of greeting. So we are going to have greeting in front of it. And then we have our equal to, which is our assignment operator. Here, we created a variable called greeting and assigned it a text, hello world. This text is a string, and we are using double quotes to define it. Whenever you are defining a string, you start the string with a quote and end it with a quote. That is the important defining characteristics of strings. If you over this greeting variable now, you are going to see a type annotation in front of it with this abbreviation of str. That str is standing for strings. So by assigning a text to this greeting variable, Python is able to identify that this greeting variable is holding the value of a string. One exciting thing about strings in Python is that you can create a string with either single quotes or double quotes. They work the same way, but it's important to be consistent with whatever type of quote you are going with. Let's say greeting is hello world. Now as we have it, we can as well have another variable. Let's call it greeting2. So we have greeting2, and then we want to assign greeting2 to a string, but now we want to use a single quote and not double quote. So we can have another hello world. All right. So both greeting and greeting2 are valid strings, but you should know that if you are starting with single quotes, end it with single quote. If you are starting with double quotes, end it with double quote. You cannot mix single and double quotes together to form a string. For example, let's say we started this one with a single quote and now we want to use double quotes to end it. That is going to run into error. As you can see, it has already been highlighted with red squiggly lines. So now I'm going to change this back to single quotes, and that makes it a valid string. If I over greeting2 now, you see we have string as the type annotation. This is telling you that greeting2 is data type of strings. So what if you want to use quotes within your string? There are times that your string might be having quotes in between. So how can you do that? I mean, let's say we have a sentence, right? So let's say we have a sentence, okay? And inside of the sentence, we want to say, hello there. Okay, let's say I'm Toyosi by name. Okay, so now we have a quote within our string. Hello there, I'm Toyosi by name is a string. As you can see, we have one quote here and we have another quote here. Now we are having another quote in between of our sentence. So in situations like this, how do we do it? As you can see now, we already have an error because Python is thinking that we've ended the quote, the string at this point, but our string is still continuing. So in this situation, how do you resolve it? To resolve this, if you have single quotes in your string, you should enclose the string with double quotes and vice versa. So let's say now we have single quotes in our string. To resolve this, we are going to start the string with double quotes and then we are going to end it with double quotes. So now you can see that we don't have error anymore. So if our string is having double quotes in between, that means we are going to start with single quotes and end it with single quote. As you can see now, we don't have error. So I hope you're actually practicing along as I'm coding. Ensure you are coding along. That's how you actually learn. If you want to display a string, all we need to do is to use the print function. Let's say we want to display greeting now. All we have to do is to print greeting. Okay, and we are going to have it displayed in our console. Okay, so we have hello world displayed, and you can as well print your string directly without assigning it to variable. So we can say hello world, or we can add 2 to that to distinguish it from the first one. So you can see this is simply how you display your string. There is a common pitfall to watch out for when creating strings. If you forget to close the quotes, Python will raise an error. So now here, as we have hello world 2, if we forget to close the quote, Python will raise an error because our string is not, as you can see, you see the prompt given by PyCharm that missing closing quotes. That means our string is missing the closing quote, but our IDE has made this easier. So the IDE is designed in such a way that if you write the opening quote, it will automatically close the quote for you immediately. So that will mitigate the error of missing the closing quotes. In the next lesson, we'll build on this by learning how to combine strings, access individual characters in a string, and so much more. See you in the next lesson.